This Sunday night on Adult Bedtime Stories for the Creative Soul. She also knew this number would not answer like the millions of times before. The answer machine picked up. She left the message, just like before. I know you hear me. It's only been 2 years since you asked me out on a date. It's November the 28th at 8 p.m. You said we would go out. Why aren't you here? She slammed the handle on the receiver. Intrigued? Excited? Want more? Then tune in to Adult Bedtime Stories for the Creative Soul. Good evening, family. We've got a short story for you tonight. So grab your comfy blanket, your favorite drink, and let's enjoy the show. Let's dig in to Angel of the Night. She opened the door for the 40th time. It was 7:45 p.m. and the street was covered with ice, but no passerbys. She began to take one step onto the porch, but changed her mind. I'm not dressed for the weather, she thought to herself. Ty slammed the door and walked past the mirror positioned near the door. She had on a blue wool coat, a fur hat, and gloves to match. But what she saw was slightly different. Ty smiled at the reflection she saw of green shorts and a red tank top. Ty walked into the living room and turned the dial on the thermostat to 105 degrees. The humidity in the air was thick, causing the ends of her hair to curl under her fur hat. She sat down at the kitchen counter and dialed a number she knew very well. She also knew this number would not answer like the millions of times before. The answering machine picked up. She left a message just like before. I know you hear me. It's only been 2 years since you asked me out on a date. It's November the 28th at 8 p.m. You said we would go out. Why aren't you here? She slammed the handle on the receiver. On the night of November 28th, 2018, exactly 2 years before, Ty began getting ready for her date. She smoothed her hair into a ponytail, put on her favorite blush, red heels, and black dress. Ty heard the doorbell and ran down the steps. When she opened the door, she was greeted by John, her longtime boyfriend. He had a bouquet of red roses and a box of her favorite chocolates. John, you didn't have to. They are beautiful. Ty took the flowers to the kitchen and placed them in a vase of water. She grabbed her keys and met John at the door. When she walked through the door, she looked at John with a smile, but was met with fear. John dropped the chocolates, backed away from Ty, and started to sprint to his car. He dropped his keys while running, but instead of going back to where Ty was standing dumbfounded, he took off running down the street. Ty couldn't believe what she was seeing. The man of her dreams came to take her on a date, but when she finally decided to go out with him, he stood her up in person. Ty turned toward her house, picked up the box of unopened chocolates from the ground, and went back in the house. She took off her red heels, her black dress, and put them on the couch. She went to the mirror by the door and looked at her reflection. I forgot to put on my best face, she told herself as she peeled away the rouge and lipstick. She also peeled away the skin on her lips, the skin on her cheeks and forehead. She smiled at her reflection. Maybe he'll like the real me, she thought to herself. She then put on her black trench coat, grabbed her staff, her keys, and left for the night. What if you could take a few minutes each day to write about your life or create a story using pre-created prompts to help spark your writing juices? Would you take just a few minutes a day to become the best writer you could be by alleviating writer's block and fatigue? Beauty in the Eye of the Writer is a beautifully constructed journal with amazing writing prompts to get you writing in no time. Click the link in the show description to get yours today. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to be featured on the next Adult Bedtime Stories, send an email to adultcreativesoul@gmail.com. That's ADULTCreativesoul gmail.com. Or feel free to send a message. The link is in the show description. And as always, we are a PG-13 family, so keep it spicy and tantalizing, but always tasteful. Did you know Kamani, aka the adult storyteller, is also a fictional author? Check out Shea Butter Rocks on Amazon today, as well as all her other nonfiction and fiction books as well. Would you like to support our podcast? Click the link in the show description or go to Patreon. We have a Patreon page for Adult Bedtime Stories. The link is in the description. And I would like to leave you with a quote to help you begin to write the night away. On plenty of days, the writer can write 3 or 4 pages. And on plenty of other days, he concludes he must throw them away. That quote is by Annie Dillard. So thanks for tuning in to Angel of the Night. And good night until next time, my creative souls.